Hello, this is Greg with Northern Audio, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about a very special turntable, the Technics SL-1200GME, the Grand Master Edition. So we're a Technics dealer. We have Technics turntables all over the store. This is their Grand Master Edition, but ultimately limited edition. They're doing 1,200 of these, and then the black one they're doing 1,210 of. But that being said, it's based on the G originally. And if you could check out the platter here, it's using a 3-layer platter, very much mechanically separated. It's using the advanced Delta Sigma motor, so it certainly eliminates cogging. Very quiet, very accurate as well, because really you're getting into technology that they use for spinning Blu-rays. So if it's good for your movies, it's certainly good for a turntable. But the most important feature on it, yes, it has a heavy plinth. It's extremely heavy, but the most important feature is the Tonearm. So they saved the best for the last in their line, and this is the Magnesium Tonearm. Certainly has a lot to do with how it sounds, its rigidity, and ultimately its ability to be anti-vibrational. So I have some context to that too. We had a buddy of mine that has a turntable that was having issues with that, and I'll get into that example in just a second. But that being said, the cartridge that we're running on it, we're using the Audio-Technica ART20. Now this is a 0.55 millivolt output. It's a special line contact stylus, but it's really good synergy between the two. The attack on this guy, it's just so quick. It's very, I don't want to say digital, but that's like the only word that comes to mind, but I don't want you to think that in a bad way. It's very much a high resolution cart, but maintains musicality. But this coupled on this turntable, I mean, it's just a dynamite sound. We've been using John McLaughlin Friday night concert, and just, as a demo, and just the picks and the plucks of the guitar and the attack. I mean, it's so lifelike and just so present. And the soundstage that it gives, certainly, a lot to do with not just the cartridge, but the synergy in itself. A little more about the cart too, is this cart is based on the ART9XI. Difference being it has a little thicker yoke on it, so it gives you about a 15% greater output. So I'm sure that has a lot to do with its dynamics. You can hear that as well, very much a dynamic cart. Just like I said, really good synergy. So the turntable itself, let's talk about a little bit about that. Let's go back into the Magnesium Tonearm. So that is certainly the magic of this turntable. If you Google search the Tonearm, Technics Tonearm graph comparison, you'll see somebody did a resonance comparison, and the difference between, I'm sure we can get that to pop up on the screen here, but if you see the resonance difference between the Magnesium one and the aluminum ones, it's big. So that being said, when you utilize this Tonearm, this cartridge on this setup, it's one of the best setups that you'll find, bang for the buck. $6,600, it's certainly not a cheap turntable, but it's definitely an Endgame turntable. So let's talk about the piece that I was saying before about its anti-vibrational properties, and really actually utilize this and tested it in a system that was having some issues. So the turntables, Technics, we had the G, it wasn't the G, this particular one, but very much same properties to it, Magnesium Tonearm. And I'm not going to say the name of the turntable, but just know it was a suspended table. I think it's around $24,000. And his setup is like this. It's Vandersteen Quattros, and in the middle, you have the rack, and right in the lower rack in the front is where the turntable is. So every turntable that we put in the middle, we were getting feedback. Vandersteen Quattros have powered subwoofers, if you've ever experienced that with turntables, and you get the feedback of the subwoofer pumping, and ultimately starts to go more and more as the volume goes louder, and you have to shut it off. So he was getting that effect at loud volumes. We're having that issue with $24,000 turntable, having that issue to a much smaller degree with a 1970s Technics table that had a modified arm on it. I believe it was the SME5 Tonearm that we had on that guy. Then we put in a modern GR2, certainly gained great strides. The only turntable that was able to sit dead center at loud volumes with subwoofers, Vandersteen Quattros, and not have a single vibration issue was this guy. The G, to be completely truthful, but again, same exact chassis pretty much. So knowing that if you have those kind of issues and you're looking for an Endgame table, this is definitely the guy. So you can come and see this, more importantly, come and hear it, 3003 Babcock Boulevard. And thanks again for listening to the music.